How's everybody doing tonight? I'm happy we're here. It's a hot day. It's hot outside, you guys, right? We're tired. We just want to go home where it's cool, right? We just want to go home and wind down. Relax. I'm tired. I'm going to not hold you guys very long tonight because of that, because we're tired. What we want to just go home and wind down. I'm going to try to be brief. But here's what I want to stress. In times as such, times like these, when we're tired and we just want to wind down and stuff, there's going to be things that are going to happen. And when things happen in times like this, how do they affect us? I'll start by saying this. Hey, we all have things that we think we need to get done, right? Well, I'll say this. We have things that we need to get done. I'll say that again, right? There are certain things that we have in our minds that I need to get this done, that done, that done. I just need to get these things done. So how do we feel when things happen and we can't get those things done? How do we feel?
Defeated.
We feel defeated. Depressed. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You feel like I've been there.
I felt the same way. I felt the same way as we were having fun day. I was at the house, I was in bed, I was tired, and I wanted to get some things done. I had been out, I was just tired. And I felt that way because there was more things I needed to get done. And I just thought, I'm just tired, I'm gonna stay home. And when she sent that text, it got me going. It got me up and it got me going. Here's where I'm going. Here's where I'm going with that. What is love? What actually is love?
It's a way of life.
Yeah. Yeah. I like what she said.
Just caring about something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You can't have it I don't think you can have truth without the Holy Spirit.
Okay. Hey, you're right. Exactly. Exactly. Here's what I was sitting up there and I was trying to condense it. And I was thinking about what happened with me yesterday. And it's not just me, it's what's happening with the world. Here's how I viewed love for just a short span. It's a life-changing action. Now, why do I say it's a life-changing action? Why do I say that? How about when these things happen that we need to get done and we can't get these things done and they get us down and we're just stuck, right, in a rut because we can't get these things done. But how about when things happen and it's so we can get these things done? A life-changing action, right? Now, why do I say that is so important? Why do I say that is so important? And I'll hear folks say, it was just something small that somebody done. It may have been just something small for you. Why? Because the Lord had you equipped to deal with that situation. But let me say this. You never know what it meant to someone else. Here's where I'm going in. Hey, you guys heard me say back there. Hey, there were some folks who was having some car trouble, and they had ran out of gas, and they were about 15 feet away from the pump. And here's what happened. And the parking lot, there was a curve like this. This part went down, this part went down, the spot down here that was low, and they started to push, and the car had rolled down in the spot, and it was as far as it was going. And they were pushing. There were some folks in the store that worked in the store, was fixing to head out and help them get the car pushed. But hey, to make a long story short, me and Michael helped them get the car, helped the pumps. And after they got the car at the pump, hey, the guy, man, he has this big old huge smile. He said, "Hey, God, thanks." That was small for me and Michael. It was. But it helped them get on their way. So here's where I'm going. Here's why I'm on this. I heard her speak, and I enjoyed that classic one on those seeds that are planted here and there. And sometimes they fall away. Sometimes they'll fall by the way. I heard him say. I said, "What do you have to make a crop?" He said, "The water, the rain, the sun, you got to fertilize. And hopefully you will make a crop. But if you don't have those things, then we know what? You'll make a crop, right?" Now here's where I'm going, and I like what you said. It's coming from the Lord. It does. It does. It comes from Him. All things are good or from He who's above the Lord. It's there. It is there. But oftentimes He does what? He does what He does through us, right? Cheryl, she does not know. I was tired. I come up here, but here's what had happened. I'm going to hand to it. I had worked all day and I was hungry and I was tired and I didn't want to cook. So I was and I thought I'm just going to lay down. Tired, hungry. But here's what happened after she sent the text and I headed up here and I ate first. And the food was good. And then I began to talk and harass folks, and they began to harass me back. And here's what happened. Here's what I enjoyed: the food, the friendship, and the fellowship. Here's what happened in that. What happened with me? I was
rejuvenated in the field.
Exactly.
And that's what we should be understanding.
How important is what she said, guys? How important is it? How important is it? And here's what often happens. Hey, those seeds, oftentimes those seeds will get spread here and there, but they don't get taken care of. They don't get rejuvenated. They don't get things. I'm seeing some things that I'm so happy. I'm seeing some folks show up at church. I'm so encouraged. You guys don't know. I'm seeing some things I said, this is never going to happen. Why is happening? But why is it happening? Because people are doing what? They're taking action through what they're sharing. They're sharing with people whom they love and who are close to them, and it's making them impact. Because they're sharing. But here's where I'm going. Here's what some folks read. And my God shall supply all of your needs into His riches and glory by Christ Jesus. And I can read that over and over, folks. The Lord will supply your needs. He will supply your needs. He will supply. But when is that real? Hey, that guy, his dad or his granddad was a very old man. And I could see the look on that old guy's face. He was really frustrated. And I understand why. He was an older man, and I know how times were back then. And I could see him saying, what's happening with the world? We need help. And it wasn't like they needed a whole lot of help. They just needed just a little bit of help. And folks were just standing there. And there was a whole lot of folks just standing there. And I won't say everything that me and Michael said, but here's what I said. I said, it's a darn shame nobody wants to go help them. What's happened with the world? But here's where I'm going. All needed to happen was what? For somebody to take action. Just take action. Hey, the Lord was about what? He was about action. It says what in John 3:16 here? That God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, so that whosoever believes in Him will not perish but have everlasting life. But He did what? He gave His only begotten Son. He did what? He took action. He took action. Now, why am I on this? Why am I on this?
Because we need to continue to keep making action.
Exactly. If we don't practice what's here, we'll never experience the love of Christ.
Well, and you may, I never have looked at it like this, but when you talk about fertilizer and water and sunshine, and just because we tell people the word, it's not where our job ends. We have to come back and we have to nurture that seed and we have to water it and make sure the thorns are not being choked, it's not choking it out. And that had never dawned on me until I heard you read that.
Now, here's why I say that, and I'm like you, the Lord has shown me these over and over and over and all the time. After I left last night, before I came, guys, I was up there, and I was exhausted. I wasn't going to come. I wasn't going to come. Why? I was tired. I was exhausted. I was tired. I wasn't going to. But when you sent that text and you had that little young man, he had this face and laughed, and I said, Cheryl's fixed to get it. It came from her, but Cheryl's fixed to get it.
Why do you think I said it?
But here's my point, guys. Look what happened after I got here. I was good. I was fine. I was built up.
That's
And
why
I
we
got
have
some
that
things
once a
done.
month, because there's not enough holidays that makes it where that's worthwhile.
Let me say this. Let me say this too. Before I came, there were some things I wanted to get done, and I hadn't got these things done, so everything had stockpiled, and I felt down. But after I left last night, well, before I came, I was here. But when I left last night, I was here. Why did that happen? Because of what you guys did. Because what you guys did. Now, here's where I'm going. That's what we need to happen. That's what I was so encouraged. I got some things done I was wanting to get. I can get some small things done, and I hadn't had time. I hadn't got them done. I felt bad. But it was after everybody did what they did, I got the things done. I was happy, and I felt good. I went home, and I was in a good place. Why? Action. Some people took some action. But here's what's happening. So many people are not taking action. And often I seen that guy, a text, or just talking to him, agitated. I like it. It got me going. Here's my point.
I'll do it often, more often.
And see, here's my point. Small things, just little things. But look how big of a difference it made. Now, why am I saying this? Why am I saying this? Often it's just those small things. And it's and the very next thing I'm going to read is this. Psalms and it's Psalms 23 and 1. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. I shall not want. Here's where I'm going with these things. As I heard him speak this morning, and I enjoyed it so much. Salt and light. We're charged with healing. We are equipped to do these things, and often it's these small things. And here's what I'm saying, and I'm going to say it. I had got to a point where I said, Lord, I'm not saying these things. Why are we not saying? Why am I not saying these things? And here's what I want. You better want what you ask for, because you just might get it. You better want what you ask for, because you might. Because here's what I'm saying, okay? If you want to understand, I'm going to put you through it. I'm going to let you walk all the way through it, and after you walk through it, it's going to make sense. And that's why I scream about this stuff all the time. After going through it, I understand the importance. It seems small. I know it does. It does. It seems so small. It seems like, how can just that little bit that I've done make that big man? It does. It does. I'm seeing things now that are unfolding because of small things that folks say. What are those small things? Somebody just took action. Somebody just took action. Somebody didn't just sit there. Now, here's what I like about that one guy that we have. That lady in the store, I went in and I had stopped for a drink. I was going to get a big, tall drink. I stopped to get a tall drink. And after we helped them edit it, and I got me and Michael agreed to do this, she said, no, you guys, hey, they can have those free, but we're not gonna make you pay for them. Because what she said, hey, you guys doing what you do, what you did, it lets us know there's still some good men in the world. But here's my point. Here's my point. You know, it doesn't matter what she said. I'm happy she saw she's seen, but that kid, or she could have saw the look on his face. I know how he felt. That was his father or his grandfather, and it was hard. And he's saying, "Look what I've done," and he's having to help me. He didn't have a heat stroke, so. And after we helped him, he was so encouraged. He had this smile on his face like this. Is that not what we want to happen? Hey, here's where I'm going. There are going to be folks who say, well, he just brought, hey, you guys are good folks, and you guys just stopped to help. Is that actually what happens when things like that happen? I had it happen to me. In these situations, they have stayed with me. It has stuck with me. I know it is from the Lord, as he has said, as you said. Hey, without him, we can't do it. Who's going to put you in the right place at the right time? Who's going to put you in that mindset? Who's going to have you so you can do those small things? Even though it seems small, the parking lot was full of people. And that girl, she made that point until she said, all those folks out there. So it's him. And the world understands it for him. But here's where I'm going. Here's where I'm going. It's just like she said, if we can charge ourselves to take that action, it's going to make a difference. Now, why do I say these things? I've been at somebody. I am that somebody. I understand the impact that makes. I understand the good it does if somebody will just take action. And let me stop for just a second and say this. The smaller it is, the more important it is. I'm going to say that again. The smaller it is, the more important it is. Why do I say that? Why do I say that?
If anybody can notice a grant on a big thing that needs to be done, but you really have to be looking to notice one of the small things.
Yeah.
The small meaning.
And sometimes it's just the simplest things that mean more than the big grand gestures.
Here's what I hear often and frequently. I didn't need a whole lot of help. It wasn't that I needed a whole lot of help. I understand in that situation I needed a whole lot of help. I understand that folks aren't going to come help me do that. I didn't expect folks to do that. But I hear this a lot. There was a time in which I just needed just a little bitty, anybody could have did it, but nobody stopped to do it. That's what tears folks in. And I hear folks say, well, it was just something small, so I didn't bother to do it or help them or whatnot. I hear that so often. I hear that so frequently. Anybody could have did it, but nobody did it. Nobody did it. And if you've been on the other side of that, oh man, how does it make folks feel? Here's where I'm going back to. I'm going back to that fun day. I'm happy that we're having it. It's showing that we're starting to take action. It's not just that there are more things that we're doing, but I'm so happy that we're doing that because it's making a difference. And it's not just that as we take action, it's making a difference. And we are taking action. Why am I stressing that? Action, because I want people to understand what love is about. That it's about as we see things out there that we can impact, things that we can do. Here's where I'm going. I'm not saying there are going to be things that you can't do. In that situation, then it's not for you, right? It's not for you. If you can't do it, that's not for you. But here's where I'm going. I watch Michael. I laughed. I did. I laughed. At some things he said, here's why I laughed. It shows where we are. It shows where the world is. An older guy and a girl and his kid, what they needed help. And folks are And I said to myself, how have we gotten here? And then I'm going to step over here and say, it doesn't matter how we got here. It doesn't matter. Or why we got here. Here's what we are charged to do. We are charged to act out of love. And as we act out of love, we're charged with taking action. If we will take action, there are some of those seeds that would have failed by the wayside are going to take root. They're going to grow. They will. And here's why I'm saying this. After folks are seeing this, after it happens through them, here's what happened. Eventually, those people who receive that help start what? They will practice the very thing that they have been on the other side of. Because why? Hey, they understand the importance. Here's what happened with me. It helped me, so I'm going to help somebody else. Now, right now, we're down here and it's hot, right? We want to go home, and we just want to just go. And I understand that. And we get like that. And I'm happy I'm speaking on this today because it's just how I feel. Today. I said I feel yesterday, but because some people took some action, hey, last night, hey, when I went home, I wasn't down there. And I had fun. Now, why do I stress have fun? 57 years old, I don't get to have a whole lot of fun. I had fun last night. I enjoyed the food, I enjoyed friends, I enjoyed fellowship. Why is that as well so important? Why is that so important? Why is that so important? There are going to be somebody at some point that we're going to invite who will say, there's serving food up there. Hey, they've got some games and stuff. I will hit up and listen. I'm hoping as we do this more and more, I got to hang around those folks. If they act like that there, then I'll try church. And even if, here's where I'm going to, there are going to be some folks who may never walk through those doors. But if we watch how we handle ourselves, even though they don't walk through these doors, what we can still impact their lives. We can still impact their lives. Why? Because I got news for us. These walls do not define the church. It is a part of the church. But if we handle ourselves right, if we do the things that we are charged to, what we can still impact these folks' lives. Now, I'm not going to hold you guys a long time because it's hot and we want to go home. But I just want to charge you with that. What love actually is a life-changing action. Why do I say it's a life-changing action? My grandmother, I think about that, the things she did, life-changing action. And it's not just her. There's been so many folks in my life who did these things that impacted me, and it's still there. It has stayed with me. How did it happen? Through them taking action. Action, action, action. What this is a handbook for us to practice. If we do not put this into practice, then what good is this if we don't put it into practice? If we don't put action behind his words, or what? The body of Christ. Well, what does that mean if somebody is the body? What does the body do? It receives, it commands and stuff. Hey, for more him, and then we are to what? Act upon what we have received. And our actions. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm not going to hold you long, but I'm going to close with this. As we see things unfold, let's take action. Let's take action. I do not want folks to say, it's those small things. It is. I hear that a lot. It was, if somebody would have just told me, I could have gotten it done. Just those things. Now, I'm not saying there's anybody who hasn't done these things. I'm just saying that I want to encourage each and every one of us as we can, and as things unfold, let's take action. Because it does. It makes a difference. I shall not move. I will supply, he will supply their needs through all of the richly for him. But often he does what? That works through us. And how do I know that? Man, I've just completed some things that some people had not taken action. It would have been so much harder. It would have been so much harder. But here's what's neat. When things fall in place, I mean, hey, when things just happen, and I say things just happen, I hear folks say that, but things don't just happen, right? They don't just happen. And these things are from him, they have him, and it is through us. So let's take those actions. If we take action, it's going. I know this. No matter how long I live, there's going to be some folks who are going to always hear about some people who took action. And those actions that they took have impacted, have changed them. And there's going to be folks, if I live that long, there's going to be some folks here that are long after you're gone, going to hear about action that he took, action that she took. And then, I'm going to close with this. If they just hear about these actions, and if folks stop it, if nobody else will take these actions, then what's going to happen again? It's going to be what? Words, right? But if as we take action, and as we teach, as we preach, as we reach folks, and charge them to also take action, then what's going to happen? What they're going to feel the love of Christ. And those seeds, if we can get one more seed, take root, then what's going to happen? It's going to make a difference. It's going to make an impact. I'm going to pray and I'm going to let you guys go. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm getting around to just preach all the time. Why is that? Why is that? Because I'm happy. I'm happy to be a part of something that we're led by Christ. And these things that I speak on is what we're doing, and I'm so happy and I'm so encouraged. So I'm going to pray and I'm going to let you guys go because it's hot and you're tired and you're sick of hearing me. But here's what I want you to share with folks. It's hotter in hell, and if they're not saved, then that's where they're going. That's why let's keep taking these actions and keep spreading the word. Lord, as we go our way this week, Lord, I just pray that all who are here, Lord, they will stop, hate, and share, and spread the good. They get the news. And I pray, Lord, hate shall always stop and act, Lord. And on your behalf and your name, I pray. As you guys, I didn't hold you long.